Hello everyone, and welcome to my young and restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kyle and Claire wake up together in bed in a suite. She slept past her alarm, he teases. She appeared so content that he was unable to wake her. I'm late for work, Claire yells. He gives her a kiss, unconcerned. She applies the brakes when he tries to make out. She is happy that she packed a backpack so she would have clothing. For the next time, or even better, at his house, Kyle asks her to bring a few items to the suite and leave them there. He can discuss closet space with his mother. When he claims he's serious, Claire smiles. Does it make her anxious? He asks. She enjoys it. Kyle responds, I do too. He wants to show her how unique she is and how unique this is every single day. There's a method for him to accomplish it now. Kyle attempts to convince her to call in ill and remain. Claire is persuaded to block off the outside world, at least for today. He is aware that she has been working tirelessly and is most likely ahead of schedule for the day. You are incorrigible, Claire chuckles as he orders room service. They kiss and pillow fight. Jack is amazing Nikki. When Nikki walks into society, she bumps into Jack. He invites her to come along and give him an update on Chancellor's progress. He's ecstatic for her. She wonders if that's the case or if he's acting since they're buddies. Jack narrows his eyes at her, perplexed by her tone and the remark. Jack Nikki YNR. As they sit, Nikki explains that while she is sure Jack is pleased for her, Billy makes things more difficult. They discuss how the tension isn't making her want to drink again. Jack acknowledges that she is performing at her best. Nikki goes over replacing Billy again. Jack reminds her that while he enjoys any opportunity to scold the mustache, this isn't the right time. Nikki is shocked that he didn't take advantage of the chance to scold Victor. Jack acknowledges that, despite his disapproval of Victor's method, he is okay with what Victor did. It forced Billy to examine himself closely. He believes that his brother has at last come to terms with himself and his past grievances. Otherwise, that would never have occurred. He is appreciative of Victor's heinous behavior. Nikki hoped to hear him express gratitude to Victor. Jack notes that Nikki is content at Chancellor and that Lily is likewise back where she belongs. If Victor lets her pursue her interests, she will soar. All's well that ends well, Nikki reflects. Not exactly, Jack answers. The only way to restore harmony between their two families is for Victor to leave Claire and Kyle alone. It won't be simple to persuade Victor to leave Claire and Kyle alone, Nikki cautions. He believes he is protecting her, but she detests his stubbornness. He will simply push her away, Jack says. Victor doesn't want him to be happy, he says, and if that means his granddaughter is collateral damage, then so be it. He needs Nikki's assistance in standing up for the young couple. You are so romantic, Jack Abbott, Nikki swoons. She is all for promoting true love, but she will be the one to deal with Victor's fury if everything falls apart. Since when do you fear Victor's anger? Jack asks. Nikki Jack YNR. Kyle tells Claire in their suite that before they can eat breakfast, they must inform the employers that they will not be returning. To send SMS, they grab their phones. Nikki assures Jack at society that she can manage a few tantrums and will stop at nothing to protect Claire and Kyle. As their phones ring, Jack informs them that Kyle is unable to come into work today since he ate nasty clams. Clucking at the coincidence, Nikki Claire is also unable to enter since she appears to have consumed the same clams. They choose to overlook this and grin at the idea of youthful love being holy. YNR Nikki. Claire and Kyle receive texts in their suite that read, no worries. Claire worries that they'll be caught. Kyle feeds her and says they should take advantage of it. More, please, she smiles. He does as he is told. They discuss that she is playing hooky for the first time. She is taking a bit too much pleasure in it. This cannot occur once more. Kyle teasingly says, definitely not. Perhaps every now and then, she hedges. They tumble into the bed when he yanks her into his arms and they begin kissing. Nikki is happy that she and Jack get along at society. He will always tell her the truth. She will also always be truthful with him. Even if it means betraying Victor's trust, Jack jokes. Nikki hopes that won't be the case. Updates on Phyllis, Nick, and Summer. Summer and Nick question Phyllis about her relationship with Sharon at the GCAC. She claims they spoke, but she has to be pushed for further details. According to Phyllis, they discuss their love for their children and their intention to put their frustrations on the clinic floor and go forward as a couple. So thanks, Summer, friends? Not friends, but not enemies, Phyllis remarks. We don't need to give it a name. Nick is quite pleased with them. Summer concurs. Phyllis regrets allowing hatred to control her life. She claimed to have used it as a source of strength to defend her family but ultimately caused harm to those she cared about. Summer makes an effort to minimize it, but Phyllis isn't willing to be absolved. She was consumed by it. Nick believes that their joint efforts to resolve this situation are brave. According to Phyllis, looking into the past and seeing all of your hatred and anger staring back at you is like looking into a huge mirror. She wasn't prepared to see her actual self. Summer encourages her mother not to be too hard on herself because she is not only accepting responsibility but also making an effort to mend her connection with Sharon. Nick concurs. Although he had a part in it and was in the midst of things with her and Sharon, he saw how it affected them both. Phyllis admits to having served as a referee numerous times. It's baby steps, she cautions them, so don't designate her for sainthood. Nick has observed how she and Sharon have been affected over the last few months. They're all for it if it brings them calm. Until the person who committed this to them is apprehended, Phyllis will never be at rest. Summer, Phyllis, Nick, YNR. Nick and Sharon are informed by Phyllis that their conversation the other day was very beneficial. She was saved by Sharon. She tried everything in her power to save her when the time came. You also saved her life, says Nick. Sharon didn't seem like the kind of person Phyllis always believed her to be. She will acknowledge that, like the others, Sharon was a victim and wasn't acting rationally when she set up Daniel. Summer believes Sharon must have been quite receptive to this new perspective. It did, Phyllis responds. She acknowledges that she continues to experience nightmares. All of this fear still lingers. By taking charge of her emotions and managing what she can, Nick reassures her that she is doing everything correctly. Phyllis reiterates that she must see the person who did this, tell them they lost, and look them in the eyes. Sharon's information is fantastic. Traci. At Crimson Lights, Sharon emerges from the kitchen to see Traci scowling thoughtfully at the counter. After what she and Phyllis went through, Traci is shocked to see her. Sharon has to go to work. Traci is thankful that they are both safe at home. Until the madman who abducted them is imprisoned, Sharon won't feel secure. What kind of person could do something so heinous is beyond Traci's comprehension. Sharon admits that she continues to experience nightmares. Traci says she's sorry to bring it up again. Talking about it helps, Sharon tells her. Traci is open to hearing. She'll have coffee with Sharon. Sharon, Traci, YNR. Sharon pours 2 drinks and sits down with Traci. According to Traci, Kyle informed them that she and Phyllis were imprisoned at a shuttered mental health facility. With the venues their captor has chosen, Alan would have a field day. Sharon had the same thought, the kidnapper must have been a psychologist. It makes sense because the mind games they were made to play were clinical, as if someone skilled at behavior manipulation had created them. Traci seemed troubled. According to Sharon, he or she was all about playing God and manipulating them. They just heard their voice via an intercom, they never saw their face. About the mental games, Traci inquires. According to Sharon, they had to play the game and solve puzzles in order to survive. All of this is really worrisome to Traci. Sharon reveals that the only way they could save each other's lives was by correctly solving the puzzle. What kind of monster does something so sick just for their own amusement, yells Traci. They were only lab rats in a psychological experiment, according to Sharon. They appeared to want them to find a solution to their problems. They believed their abductor might have known them because they had highly detailed information about their past. Sharon Traci YNR. Sharon bursts when she sees Traci's engagement ring. Traci claims that she and Alan are engaged, but it's difficult to feel joy when others close to her have gone through such a terrible experience. The psychopath expressly targeted them, Sharon tells her. She hopes that Traci isn't concerned about her personal security. Traci simply thinks it's all so weird and awful. Sharon acknowledges that lately, it's been one setback after another. She will concentrate on the positive aspects. She collaborated with Phyllis and recognized the positive aspects of each other. Traci enjoys listening to this. Sharon informs her that they set off the alarm that set off the gas and that they came dangerously close to death twice. Alan's phone notice said, "Remote device unexpectedly detached," and Traci flashed to it. Expulsion of gas ceased. "You were purposefully gassed?" asks Traci. Sharon gives a nod. She and Phyllis would have perished if Nick and Chance hadn't arrived at that time. They never realized that their kidnapper had prepared for the possibility that they would attempt to break free. Taking deadly care, Traci murmurs. Traci expresses gratitude to Sharon for telling her tale. In fact, Sharon believes that talking to Alan about it with Phyllis would be very beneficial. "But you're a trained professional," protests Traci. Sharon is incapable of self-psychoanalysis. Alan is so intelligent and perceptive that he might be able to assist them in apprehending the abductor. He's currently in Paris, Traci explains. When he returns, Sharon asks whether she thinks he would make time for them. Traci is certain he wouldn't object. Sharon believes Alan could be her lucky charm because he helped her with the hypnosis so well. Traci hopes they apprehend this individual quickly. According to Sharon, until this madman is removed from the streets, nobody is safe. Sharon Traci YNR. Sharon and Phyllis discuss an idea. Everyone shouts, "Good morning," as Sharon arrives to the GCAC to join Phyllis, Summer, and Nick. According to Phyllis, establishing this new global order may prove difficult. Sharon inquires as to whether she is reconsidering. She is assured by Phyllis that she is prepared to make it happen. Whatever rock they went behind, Sharon hopes their captor will be flushed out. Nick acknowledges that he was anxious to leave them alone at Crimson Lights because he was afraid they would ruin the area. Phyllis and Sharon have experience with that, Sharon teases. The topic of conversation shifts to Traci showing up at the coffee shop. Sharon claims that she shared some of their experiences with her because she was so understanding. She understood that it was therapeutic and that Phyllis would benefit as well. Alan's therapy is brilliant. He might know something about the person who took them. Phyllis wants to know when they may speak with this Alan since she is all for getting closer to the truth. According to Sharon, he is now out of town but will return. "Isn't it wonderful if Alan Laurent is the key we need to help end this ordeal?" she exclaims. Summer Phyllis Nick Sharon YNR. Traci's hopelessness. Traci leaves Alan a voicemail at Crimson Lights, wishing him a safe journey, but she is unable to visit him at this time. "I love you, and when you get this, why don't you call me?" "This is not possible," she cries as she disconnects. "This simply cannot be." Traci YNR. Traci is sobbing on the veranda as Jack enters. "Oh Jack," she screams. "I need you to let me know that I'm going crazy. Tell me that I haven't committed the worst mistake of my life, please." Next on The Young and the Restless, Diane continues to make appearances, Billy shares his most recent scheme with Phyllis, and Traci expresses her worries to Jack.